everyone present here. I, Shrestha De, would take this opportunity to welcome our honorable esteemed guest for today, Ms. Hasini Lakshmi Narayana, respected teacher, and all my dear fellow mates. It's immense pleasure for me to introduce our speaker for today, Ms. Hasini Lakshmi Narayana, who needs no introduction, especially among us, the youngsters. She has achieved great heights at such a young age, which is truly appreciable. Ms. Lakshmi Narayana is the founder of The First Step, a TEDx speaker, reporter of the Hindu School edition and Brain Feed magazine. She is also the youngest board member of Child Chapter. We are immensely delighted to have a person with such personality among us today. Without further ado, I would like to hand over the session to Ms. Lakshmi Narayana.
Hi, thank you so much for the wonderful introduction, Shrestha. If I'm spelling your name, pronouncing it right. So, first off, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity, and I thank Ranjana ma'am that way, for giving me this opportunity to interact with students here, and I hope you find this session interactive and inspiring to hear. So let me just press in. So, I have a few things to say before I could move on. See, this isn't going to be like exactly like an online class. Okay. Just a few simple rules which you could follow. Whenever there's a question, I request all to answer in the chat, right? And also, one more thing is probably if you have any questions, I would request you to ask it in the end once I'm done with the session. Okay, so let's make it more fun and interactive to hear. So whenever there's a question, I request all of you to answer in the chat. Okay. So now let me start off with a quick introduction about me. I'm Hasini Lakshmi Narayanan. That's right. I am an 8th grader. I'm 13 years old. I run a non-profit organization called The First Step, where we, that's me, including a team of 15 children, aim to inspire, motivate, and empower children. That's the younger generation. And also, we have our website developed where we post our blogs, and also you can see our videos through it. Through the website, and I'll try to leave the links down below once I'm done with the talk. So I also run a YouTube channel called The First Step, where I have interviewed about 60 plus children so far. So if you would want to listen to many young achievers' successful story, please don't hesitate to check out the channel. I'll try to leave the links down below once I'm done. And apart from my very own initiative, I am also a freelance writer for Hindu School edition. That speaker, and that's pretty much about me. Very passionate about public speaking and writing, and one thing I guess most of people wouldn't know about me is that I am also very much passionate about arts. So painting, doing acrylics is another one of my hobbies, and I love interacting with people and getting into touch with new people. Having communications is one of my favorite things to do. So that's about me, and let's move on. So there is one small story which I want to share before I could start the session, right? So this story is named The Five Little Frogs. This story is, it isn't, when you hear it, it sounds like that doesn't sound like it's, not very meaningful, but it has a very in-depth meaning in it, and let me tell you. So I'd start with a simple question, right? So there are 5 frogs sitting on a lily pad, and one of them decides to jump off from the lily pad into the pond. Right? So if you can tell me how many of the frogs are still sitting on the lily pad. I'll repeat. There are 5 frogs sitting on a lily pad, and one of them decides to jump out from the lily pad into the pond. Now, if you can tell me how many of the frogs are still sitting on the lily pad? Four. Okay, I have so many answers here. First of appreciations for all those who answered. Really great. And one more thing, see, whenever you're going to answer in this throughout the session, right, there is no right or wrong. Just go beyond your limits, I would say, because usually if you're going to be wrong, right, the teacher might appreciate you, right? But here, even if you're going right or wrong, you would get an appreciation for putting 100% effort into it. So, yeah, just give it a try. Okay, so most of the common answers is 4. That's true. Mathematics, obviously, 5 is there. If 1 jumps out, 5 minus 1, 4, right? But I see a few who says 5. So if any one person could tell me why do you say it's 5, then that'll be in the chat. Does anybody want to say why do you say it's 5? Because that's Vritti Sharma. Right? So you say it's 5. Why you say it's 5? Because the frog has decided not to jump out. Yeah, that's true, right? So now let me tell you the actual answer. It's just that there are still 5 frogs sitting on the lily. And let me tell you why. Every morning we wake up, right? As students, I'm telling, we decide to complete our homeworks by the end of the evening, but we do actually complete it. Just think about it. This also applies to people who are way more older. We decide to complete some work in the morning, but do we actually complete it? No, right? It's just that we decide to do something, but we never take an initiative to do it. The same happens in this situation as well. It just decided to jump into the water, but it never did. So remember, life is a journey and it begins with that single step you take. And it's not about thinking to take that step. And that single step would be your turning point in your life. And that matters. And that to taking that at a young age is important. So, I always say that everybody has talent, but what is missing is that courage to carry forward that talent to the dark place where it is. So, henceforth, that's my YouTube channel. It's called The First Step. I'll be talking on the first step matters. But before that, I want to share my first steps mantra, or this is what I truly believe in, right? The first step. The first step is about your first dream. The first step is about believing in yourself. The first step is about accepting your first compliment with grace. The first step is about attracting positive energies from the cosmos. The first step is about encouraging others with your stories. So always remember, every single successful person's journey remembers with their first dream. Then they start putting that belief into themselves that this is possible for them to do. Self-esteem, self-belief is very important. The next thing what they do is they take their first step, then they get their first compliment, which they would accept with grace, which will be very, very memorable for them, even if they're going to pass out 20, 30 years more. Right? Then what happens is they attract positive vibrations, positive energies through the work they do from the cosmos, from the people who are around them, by the work they do. Right? So then it's about encouraging others with your stories. For me, a true successful person is when they can inspire another person for them to become successful just like them want. Because let me tell you why. Whenever you do something, there is always somebody who's going to look up to you. You could either go in the wrong direction or in the right direction, but just remember somebody would follow you, right? And they might become the person who you are today. So if you're going to become successful, always remember to share your journey, your story with many more other people, which could inspire them to become successful too. So I want to start off with that. Next one. So today I'll more or less talk about success, failures, what you would go through, towards your journey, and the importance of the first step itself. How do we become successful, right? So now I'm going to share you a formula which if you're gonna ask any successful person today, they would have followed this thing. So I did a survey to find this out. And now, before I share the formula, if anybody here could tell me any one formula for you to be successful, anybody, you could just give a try, right? Probably just one statement, staying motivated, or whatever you feel like, you could share. Work for your passion, not glory. That's so true. I totally agree. Appreciations for you if you have a good one. Following healthy routine and not wasting time. Yeah, time is another thing which it's not. It doesn't wait for you, right? So work hard on what you like. So true. Believe in myself, in yourself. Great, great, great. Yeah, these sound really great, are very motivating and also insightful to hear. We should believe in ourselves for the driving force of ourselves. I agree, that's true. We became successful by believing in ourselves. Of course, self-esteem, self-belief is very important, but okay, somebody has raised their hand. Is there something you want to say? Right? So I'm going to share one formula right now. Okay. So when you want to become successful, what is the first thing you do? Believing in yourself, right? I agree. But for you to believe in yourself, what is the work you're going to do? What is your aim? What is your goal? So you plan your goals first, right? So planning the goals, that one single priority, that's what you aim to do. It's very, very important, and let me tell you why. I want to share a survey right now, which was done way back in 1956 in Ailes University, right? So Ailes University is one of a very popular universities in the US right now. So now this survey happened, on this particular statement on how many of the students studying in that university had written goals. Right? Now, what do you mean by written goals? Is I want to become this or that, in my future. So planning what you would want to do, right? So that they specify that as written goals. And they did this survey and found out the shocking results that only 3% of the children had written goals. Just imagine, right? 3%, not not even a quarter of the whole, capacity of the students had written goals. Now, 20 years later, they went back to the same people and they surveyed on under a lot of terms, but one important term which they surveyed on was their wealth, right? So the 3% of the people who had written goals had accumulated 3 times more wealth than the 97% combined. So that is the power of the written goals, right? So planning your goals is very, very important, and I hope what I'm saying right now, you would this survey would be the right justification for written goals, because see, the 3% of the people, right, they were able to accumulate 3 times more wealth than the 97, the rest of the people who were there combined. So that was the power, of written goals. So planning your goals is very important, and the foremost step which you have to. So then what you do? Strategies. Now, what do you mean by the term strategies? Your own ideas, your own unique, uh, mindset which you put into the work you do just to implement it. See, for example, anybody here could have a YouTube channel, right? So as like I do, anybody could be a host, anybody could interview people. But if you closely notice, every single YouTuber would have something unique in them, right? So for me, my mission is to inspire children. I interview only children. So this might be my strategy, right? So the same way, planning your strategies for you to be successful is a very important. So that's the second step you take. That's planning it on how you can do it. Then ultimately you take action. Now this is the most important uh, aspect, because this is what is going to show who you really are, what your potentials truly are, and if you're going to fail in this position, then all of the work you did is going to go for waste, right? So let me tell you, I also did a survey to find this out, that even 10% of the people aren't executing this action. Everybody would have a dream, everybody would have had a goal, they plan their strategies to achieve it, but do they actually take action? That's the question mark here. No, right? Most of the people here, feel insecure, don't feel supported, don't get support, right? So through many reasons like this, financial challenges, they give up in this particular point. So taking action is another, the most important step, right? Which is going to show whom you really are, what your potentials truly are, right? So without this taking action, planning goals, then planning your strategies is going to go for no use. So then you get your result, right? If you become successful, or for example, let the goal be you becoming an entrepreneur. If you do become an entrepreneur, then it's success, right? If you become a successful entrepreneur, it's success, right? If your result is equal to your goal, it's success. But if your result is not equal to goal, people take it in three ways. That's the first set of people. When they fail, the very first time they say, blames, excuses, and complaints. They start blaming, right? Probably on situations which they can't expect to happen. They give an excuse that I'm way too young or way too old. I don't have experience in this particular thing. But they might directly complain. So the first set of people, that's the very first time they fail, they say, they start giving out blames, excuses, and complaints. Right? Now, the second time, they again plan their goal, they plan their strategies, they take their action, they get their result. Now, the second time they fail, they say, TRY, TRY. I would name this category TRY because, see, just imagine you do something which the very first time you fail, you know that this is not going to work out, right? You do it again. Now you know that this is not going to work out, so now you say TRY, right? Try. But the third time you fail, people say there are no failures, only feedback. And let me tell you why. These people change their strategies, take their action, get their result. The goal remains the same, but they change their strategies. That's the plan to say no, that this wouldn't work out. They change that. They take their action and then they get their result. So, they always say that there are no failures, only feedback. A failure necessarily is not a failure, it's a feedback, it's a new learning. People say when you fail, it's a step behind, but no, it's a step ahead. And let me tell you why. When you fail, it's just that moment when you learn if what you're doing is right or wrong. What you are actually doing. Are you doing it right? Is this how you're supposed to do it? Right? So failures teaches you, it helps you to improve. So just don't give up if you failed once or twice. Keep working towards it, and ultimately you will reach that spotlight one day. Right? So I always say that every successful person would have faced failures, and that's the keynote that they are successful today, because failures teaches you to become successful, how to become successful. So that's why I say there are no failures, only feedback. So I'll be glad if all of you here, being on mute, could repeat after me. There are no failures, only feedback. There are no failures,
There are no failures.
only feedback.
There are no failures.
On failures,
Only
only
There
feedback.
are no failures, only
Okay.
Only
feedback.
feedback.
There are no
There
failures,
are
only
no
feedback.
failures,
Great.
only feedback. There are no failures, only
There
feedback.
are no failures, only feedback.
Great.
There are
Great.
no failures, only feedback.
Great, amazing. I appreciate you. Now I request all of you to keep your mics on mute. The request was to repeat after me with your mics in mute, but that's fine. Cool, good job. So, yeah, now I'll share few inspirational stories uh, which prove the statement there are no failures, only feedback. So now, does anybody know who this person is who's on the screen? If you do know, please.
Colonel Sanders.
Yeah, that's right.
Colonel Sanders.
Yeah, that's right. This is Colonel Sanders. Right. So his story, right? He borns in a no background family, basically. He serves for the family. He's been thrown out from his house. He's always had a passion towards cooking, being a chef, having his own restaurant, becoming an entrepreneur and stuff. But he does odd jobs like picking up coal, selling tires, and all other stuff like that, mechanical works. But finally, after so many hard work, he gets a permanent job at a restaurant as a dishwasher and as a chef, right? So this is how KFC was born, Kentucky's Fried Chicken. When Saunders was, passing his 57th year. So he found KFC when he was 57. Now again, he this is how he finds the fried chicken recipe. He approaches to over 1,000 plus restaurants, cooking this dish on spot, checking out if whether they can promote this recipe. But let me tell you, he was rejected 1,000 plus times. He's traveled to over 1,005 or 6 restaurants, if I'm right, correct count. But he fails. I mean, people reject him. The recipe is being rejected. But finally, one restaurant owner agrees to sell his recipe. Right? So just imagine, by end of 1 or 2 years or so, more than 600 plus restaurants were selling his recipe. That's where he stands. Now this journey doesn't stop here. Now using all of some of the saving monies he had, he builds a new looking restaurants. And now KFC is in the hand of young brands, so they add like Coca-Cola and other beverages to it. And also, it is the 6th largest food chains in the world, which has over 25,000 plus outlets as of 2020. And is Sanders' success story. He didn't give up even after failing 1,000+ times. It's because he had always learned from his mistakes, right? So that's one. The second story would be about this person. I guess it's way more easy than.
Solution.
Sorry?
Thomas
Thomas
Edison.
Edison.
Yeah,
Thomas
Thomas
Edison.
Alva Edison. Right, that's true. This is Thomas Alva Edison, the inventor of bulb. Now, his story again. He invented the bulb the 10,000 times, right? He tried to. Now, when the reporters, right, that's the news, the media asked him about this, right, failing 999 times, he said, I learned how not to invent a bulb 999 times. Now, this is where he stands. Again, this proves a statement that there are no failures on feedback. He learned from his mistakes. Now, I'll share some successful story now about few young people who had achieved at a young age. Now, obviously, everybody knows it, right? So, if any one person could answer, and I'll request everybody else to move.
Sachin Tendulkar.
Right, great.
Sachin
Naive.
Tendulkar.
Yeah, that's true.
Sachin Tendulkar.
Okay, great, guys. Yeah, we can move on now. Great, appreciations for that. We have it. So yeah, this is Sachin Tendulkar, and he's the god of cricket, as all of you might know. People believe that a guy in the age of 16 doesn't fit to play for the Indian cricket team, but he did. In the age of 16, he played for the Indian cricket team, and just think how, because he was that passionate towards cricket, and now being called the god of cricket worldwide. So that's the story of Sachin Tendulkar. Dr. K. Prasha, I'm sure many of you didn't know her. That's why I myself introduced her. So Prasha, she had got an honorary doctorate at the age of 9. Now, if you're wondering what an honorary doctorate is, that's getting a PhD without doing certain courses. This is called an honorary doctorate. Okay, so she is addressed as Dr. K. Prasha. She has numerous awards, and she is the youngest yoga guru who can train visually challenged children, that's blind people. So she made it possible, right? The same way I have a picture of me here, Hasini Lakshmanarayan. TED, I am a TED speaker today, which I thought was impossible for me to do, but today I am here, by getting inspired by so many other young achievers whom I enjoy. So it always depends on you guys, right? If you have the true potential, if you have self-confidence and you're confident about what you're doing, you could do it. So there is no right time to start. Age is just a number. It is not an influence or a barrier for you to stop. So if people, right, of course, society, they would obviously say that you don't fit to do something, some job, because you are way too young to do it or you're way too old to do it. No, it's you. If your mindset is right, if it is possible for you, that thing would actually work out, right? So age is just a number, and I hope it proves. See, I shared journeys of few young people like who could be successful at such a young age, and also few old people who were successful even though they were 57 or 47, right? So the same way, age is just a number, it's just a barrier. And now, before I can wind up, right, I want to share one more lesson which I guess most of you would hear. This wouldn't exactly be an advice, but I hope many of you here will realize. So how many of you feel that you're gifted? I request you to answer in the chat, please, because how many of you think that you're gifted? Everybody would say yes if I'm right. this was expected, as said. Everybody would say that I am gifted. But just think, most of you here, have you not ever complained to your parents or to your teachers that I don't have this, I don't have that, Mama, I don't have a phone, Papa, I need a new pair of shoes, I need good clothes to wear, I don't have this dress, I don't have that dress, I need this, I need that. We're the same people who complain, who blame, who give an excuse about every single thing we are gifted, right? Right? I hope I can see few people nodding their heads right now. That's true, right? Even though we say that we're gifted, we are the same people who blame on every single thing we are gifted, right? Just imagine, even 10% of the people today are not able to experience the same equal experience, right? This moment you are listening to my talk, a child, see, just imagine, right? Just forget this. Every morning we wake up, we see that all of our body parts are functioning. We could talk, we could walk, we can see, we can smell, we can hear, right? Our hands are working. Think about the children who are not gifted with the hands and legs. Think about the children who are visually challenged. Think about the children who can't hear. Think about the children who are dumb. Think about the children who come from a no background family, who can't probably get themselves educated due to their family problems. Think about the children who don't have parents, who are orphans today. See, we are gifted with so many resources, good parents who's always there for us, good peers, good friends who's there to support us, who's there to wipe our tears, even though even if you're going to go through a hard time. Good teachers, good education, good organizations to support us, good schools where we can get ourselves educated, good society, to support us. Feel gifted. And just to tell you guys one more thing, right? Oxygen. It is the you see, if a person is going to be affected to COVID, right? If he or she is admitted in hospital, I believe this, according to my knowledge, that the treatment which they give is oxygen. That's O2, right? Which is a gas which keeps all of the organisms alive, right? So now a person has to pay about 7 to 8 lakhs just to stay in the hospital for 14 days, just to get taken care of, just to breathe this oxygen, which is a freely available gas. That care which we get naturally from our parents, the oxygen we could breathe, the natural resources which we are misusing today. Oxygen, not only oxygen, water, trees, the air which we have polluted, the atmosphere, right? So we are gifted with so many natural resources, the love which we get from the people who are around us, the opportunities which we get, which many other children are not able to experience, right? Having good health today is a very big task. Good laptop, a desktop or a phone, which we are able to access and use, which many more other children are not able. So feel gifted, be thankful to God, thank God for every single thing you have, right? Just don't say that I feel gifted. Say it from your heart. Say it from all me. Just think. We are the same people who play. Think about the others who don't have all of these stuff which we are able to experience. And I hope that makes a good lesson. And let me wind up with few quotes, and I hope that will be cheerful to all of you here. So as I explained, there are no failures, only feedback. That will be my first. Secondly, choices have consequences, right? So remember, even if you're going to make a right choice or a wrong choice, you will have to face your consequences. If you're going to make a right choice, and it would be a happy ending. It would end up well. But if you're going to make a wrong choice, you will be the same person who's going to face the consequence. So always remember to make your right choice. So with all of your mics on mute, I request on mute, right? I request you to repeat. Choices have consequences. On mute, consequences, right? Have your mics on mute. Good. So the third thing that I want to share is for things to change, I must change first. Always don't blame on the situation or in something which happened unexpectedly. For example, let me say having classes online was the reason which I couldn't score good marks in my exams, right? This is a simple excuse which I guess anybody could give. But from student point of view, I can say that online exams are way more easy than offline. I can hear you because I myself am just doing it. But this is just an excuse saying, right, online classes is the reason I'm not able to focus on my studies properly. Okay? Let me tell you, you change first. Adopt yourself into the situation, accept that this is being online. Let me just push, my timings, just, get used to it. If you want to change, then automatically you are going to study well. You will score good marks. So always remember that, for things to change, I must change first. That's you must change first. So I again request you to repeat after me. For things to change, I must change first. Okay? And that's about it. I hope you enjoyed the session, First Step Matters. And thank you guys. These are few of my articles which I write for the Hindu. So if you're interested, you can check it out. Check out my website, www.thefirststepharsidy.com, where you can read our blogs, watch our videos, and also subscribe to my channel, The First Step, where you can listen to many young achievers stories which are so insightful here. I've done about 60 plus interviews so far, and that's pretty much about it. And now if you do have any questions, right, you can ask.
Excuse me.
Yeah, sorry.
May I take over?
Yeah.
I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed guest of honor for taking out time to address her from her busy schedule. I would also like to thank our principal sir, our school's management team, for giving us this extraordinary opportunity to be a part of this awakening and resourceful session.
Krishna, wait.
Yes, ma'am.
Hasini is asking if anyone has any questions. If any of you, any student has any question to ask Hasini, she will be happy to answer. Yes, Dishita, please. It's okay, Srishta.
Hello, Hasini. Okay, ma'am. Hello, Hasini. I hope you're doing well.
I hope you're doing well and safe as well. I'm good.
That's great. So I just wanted to ask you a question regarding what you just told us. It's about how it's actually based on how we execute our goal, right? So like say a child is there and that child wants to pursue arts, and that too they're exceptionally good at it. However, that child being exceptionally good in their studies and overall academics, their parents want them to pursue science, but then the child is unwilling to do so. So that conflict is there, right? So I want to know, like, even if a child, like the parents aren't in the child's favor, as you can already see. So if a child and parent are having conflict, how is it possible for the child to like move forward with their dream? Can you like
Sure.
give a little bit of light on this?
Sure. So firstly, never do something as somebody is forcing you to do so. Okay. To each and every single one of you here, if you're going to do the same, right, and paka that you're not going to put your 100% effort. See, for example, if that child is you, Dishita, would you pursue on your science with all of your mind on it? Your mind will always be attracted towards arts, right? You won't put your 100% effort into science, right? So this works with everybody here. So just don't do that. And for you, your parents to probably understand you better, the responsibility is within you to prove them I could also become successful in the field of arts, right? I am sure that this would work out. Trust me, and I hope most of the parents would, especially your parents here, right, would agree to that, because as now, right, the society has changed. It wasn't as before. If you're gonna ask your father or your mother, if they are going to stand against their parents, they don't even stand a chance there. But now, right, parents are so friendly. Most of the parents, especially our parents, if I can say. So I hope, I mean, I'm pretty sure that they would support you. But if not, right, try to pursue on your science field. So once you are quite successful, I mean, not successful, I would say, once you can probably you stand a chance to do more, pursue on arts next. As I mentioned, age is just a number. You can get into any particular field when you want, right? So that art, like, that's a very creative field. I am also an artist, okay? It was a natural thing in me. I never knew that I can paint something this good, according to me at least, right? It was just a natural talent in me which I eventually developed. So that talent would never stop, right? Even if you want to just study for the whole day, not doing arts, you would know that that one single day would not change you paying your interest towards art. You would remain the same, right? So the same way, talents which you are naturally gifted with, talents which you are naturally good at, you can never lose them. The same works with me in public speaking, right? It's just a natural talent in me. So make your parents trust in you. That's your responsibility. That only happens through your actions. So possibly you can participate in competitions. Being young, that's like what you can probably do. Or if you're so confident, implement those artworks, sell them. Because now the world is full of technology. You can just have a phone, start a bank account overnight. Things are possible, right? So yeah, go ahead, and I hope that satisfied the question you asked for. I mean, this answer.
Thank you very much.
That's a very great question indeed. Ma'am, your mic is on mute.
Thank you, Dishita, for the question. Anyone else want to ask anything to Hasini? Anyone else has any question?
Ma'am, I don't have a question, but I just wanted to say that Hasini, you're truly an inspiration for all of us. The need of the hour is to have people like you in this world. And I believe that we have been sent to this world for a purpose, and we are the ones who have to fulfill that. So yes, we can work together and achieve. So all the best to you and all the best to your team.
Thank you so much. That's so sweet. Thank you.
Can I ask
sure.
something?
Yeah.
So hello, Hasini. I actually missed a bit of your program, so sorry about that. But I would really want to know that what was your motivation behind this sense of positivity? I mean, when I just entered the session and I look at you, I just saw a smiling face telling us to cherish almost everything in life. So, and that's really hard actually. What you just said, like implementation of it is truly hard. So what has been your biggest motivation in that? Like, how did you think that, to cherish every moment of life and, being positive?
Okay. So motivation, I seek it from every single person whom I meet. That might be that compliment which you gave Anuja, right? That motivates me to do more. Right? Everybody, Dishita, which you gave, Anjana ma'am, Ranjana, I just got confused. So sorry. All of the principals whom I meet, their comments, right? This really motivates me. And about that smile, my name is Hasini, right? So Hasini means laughter. So there is a reason why I was named Hasini. It's because whenever this is something which I learned, something which was said in the movie as well. If you truly believe that you can, just see positivity. It's just developed in me. Okay, that's been my motto. So I always believe, even if there's a fight going on around my friends, right? I just smile. It's okay. This will move on. Right? Just to give a smile in your face, and automatically that would it wouldn't change the problem. It wouldn't be a solution, but it'll at least make you feel better, right? So that's about, if you're gonna ask me about my smile. But the motivation, it's from all of you people, which I genuinely attract. It's because all this keeps me to do more, to do contribute back to the society, contribute back to the people, the community. So yeah, I attract positivity, motivation from all of these comments which I get, the feedback, the suggestions, and I just want to give it back. So that's about.
Yeah, thank you. And keep smiling.
Yeah, see, it necessarily doesn't have to be a question itself. You can just interact with me if you wish, like. Anybody? Okay, so would be like more in yeah.
Rashi? Shivanshi, do you want to ask something?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you want to ask something or say something to Hasini?
Hasini, I just want to say that thank you for giving such a lovely speech and for motivating me. And keep smiling, please.
Thank you. That is very cheerful. Thank you for that. I actually have a question in the chat. If I can. Hello, Hasini. Hi. I just wanted to ask about your TED talk. Like, how did you prepare yourself for such? Yeah, it's a huge event. Let me tell you, TED is like the best opportunities a public speaker could ever get. TED Talk, Josh Talks. I mean, every single platform you speak is going to be special. Like this, online event, that's a virtual event, means a lot to me as well. But TED is, like a very huge event. It comes with a lot of responsibility. So my initial thoughts towards TED was like, you just prepare, go there, stand there, speak, you come back, and it's posted on YouTube. It gets viral. That's it, right? But no, not at all. My TED was on April 2021. I started preparing for it in November or probably October 2020. So that's how like it goes for a huge preparation. Like the content itself, it has to be finalized. So I had mentors in the association who could teach, mentor me, and look over a lot of stuff. So I did attend a youth association because I'm under 18, right? So there is one particular category where you can excel in. So my topic was the first step to conquer. So this was like my title, and this name itself was changed like a million times. Let me say, the content again. I write one content. I just throw it. I find this is very boring. This comment. I again write it. I throw it. Then I come with one good draft in my computer. I send it to the coach, and she's be like, there is no masala in this. Can we add some drama or some, something inspirational? Then again I edit it. Then the host, probably wants me to make it more insightful to you. Then change, mix and match. It goes to a huge task, and the timing, right? It's again, a TED is only qualified when it's about 18 plus minutes. You shouldn't go beyond 21 minutes. You could, but the portion, like some portions will be edited, and they'll be only posted for 21 or so minutes. But if it is going to be under 18 minutes, then you would, that wouldn't be considered as a TED. You would have to re-record it. So for me, right, I used to get prepared in like my house. I would talk to my dad, my mom, even to my little sister who barely understand even what I'm talking. I would record the timing. It'll be like 19 to 20 minutes. I go to the school where I'm going to take the platform where I'm going to talk, and the dad would only come for 16 minutes. And I would either go too fast or too slow, but still I'll just stand on 16 minutes. One day I'll go up to 19 again. It comes down, comes back. But thankfully, that day I spoke up on the day of my death, right? I spoke up to about 18 plus 20 seconds or so, if I'm right. And finally, all of that hard work was put into the spotlight, which I was very happy about. And the main point is that when I was into the practice and stuff, I thought, when would this end, Baba? Then when this was done, I was like, oh, I'm going to miss this so much. I learned so much in the past 6 months. Something I have never been used to. Reading your own content, listening to others who are speaking, learning from them. It's more than an opportunity. It's an experience, which I guess it teaches you probably every single thing, right? How to stay confident, not having that fear, not to get easily attracted by somebody, and probably you sometimes people would say they would not know how to move on. They would easily get distracted. I have never had stage fear, as I have been talking, from a young age, but I did get distracted, which it was very hard for me to overcome them. Then it's like a very good experience to overcome. And yeah, one more thing, if you would want to listen to some young personalities journey, you can check out the channel. I guess you can see the link in the chat. So yeah, do subscribe and probably support us.
Didi.
Yeah, hi.
Yes, hi. I am Naim Kasib. I don't have any questions, but at last I want to say one thing, that you are just an inspiration to all of us.
Thank you.
And today from you I have learned many things.
Oh, thank you so much. Oh, I see. Like the main reason I work for this course is because I want everybody know that I want every child to know that this is also possible for a child to do. And this is actually my mission. Is always, I've always dreamt of being an inspiration. So when I hear this, it's really touching. So yeah, thank you, Naeem. And yeah, with that, I guess we can probably find out. I want to just say one thing. All the best to all of the young children we are. I'm sure one day you would become successful. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the session. And always remember, whatever you learned today, pass it on to many other people. That way they'll also learn the same. And yeah, that should be it from my end. Thank you, guys. Thank you, ma'am, for the opportunity once again.
Yes, Shrestha, you can give the vote of thanks.
Yes, ma'am. I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed guest of honor for taking out time to address us from her busy schedule. I would also like to thank our principal, sir, and our school's management team for giving us this extraordinary opportunity to be a part of this awakening and resourceful session. Thank you, ma'am, to you as well for this opportunity.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Yeah. It was really wonderful listening. And I hope it will be carried forward, and we'll hoping next again we can meet some other day.